we talk about thinking long-term and treating everything like a business, be very regimented on when you do things, just making sure that you're following up and you're staying on top of anything without forgetting things. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode on our Property Management 101 series. I'm Dave Hathaway, owner and operator of Hathaway Property Management. We own a 50-unit portfolio that we successfully self-manage through efficient processes and systems that make it easier to scale our business, reduce stress, and be more hands-off. I'm here to share with you how we do it and how you can too. Let's get into it. So this is episode 8, and what I'll be discussing about today is which systems we use to operate efficiently in property management. So why do we utilize or pay for systems? Why don't we use fax machines or just paper and save money? This is an important concept to understand. The reason we utilize systems is so our business can operate as efficient as possible. So it's going to reduce stress. It's also so we can create a plug and play system. And what I mean by that, when we hire a team member, we can remove ourselves from the day-to-day operation and put our team member in that place. Lastly, we utilize the division of labor principle. And what that means is a lot of the systems that we're going to talk about today can do multiple tasks all at once. So maybe they can do accounting and they can produce statements and tenants can pay through them. So what you'll find is you can use one system that is a Swiss Army knife, but what ends up happening, and with the division of labor principle, it ends up doing 8 things really poorly and only does 1 or 2 things really well. So what we do is we try to use what's best and is most efficient in our business. So it's going to have a high quality for our tenants and it's going to work really, really well. We do pay a little bit more because we have several systems, but it does make our business more fluid, easier to run, limiting stress and increasing profits in the long run as we grow the business. So let's get into the individual systems that we utilize and that I recommend you utilize as well in your property management business. Number 1, and I'll compare this to the brain of the organization, it's our Google Drive. You can use stuff like Dropbox or other things, but I have found that Google Drive works really well. Google Drive allows any of our team members, myself included, to access any of our documents anywhere on any computer. And it's basically a backup, a hard drive that is virtual. We talk about the cloud. So it allows us to store everything we want as a backup and grab anything from anywhere and give somebody access that is in another country, in another state. Easily allows us to transfer information through the cloud. What we store in Google Drive includes statements, including bank statements, tax documents, ledgers, invoices from contractors, our analyzation of property, receivables, HUDs, ALTAs, basically any document that we utilize in our business and anything that we receive gets saved in there. The second thing I recommend is your property management portal. So we utilize Buildium because it's relatively simplistic and it has a bunch of features, and I love simplicity. Buildium allows us to let tenants pay us, produce ledgers, produce statements, allows the tenants to put in work orders, allows us to store a bunch of information about our contractors for when we do taxes at the end of the year. And you can do your accounting and your bookkeeping through it, but we don't find that it does that best. Other property management portals that you can use are Appfolio or Yardi. I'm sure there's a bunch of new ones that are free. Buildium and Appfolio you do have to pay for, and I find those are the most widely used, especially when you have a smaller, medium-sized portfolio, and Buildium works really good. The next system we use is RingCentral. So one of the things that you don't want to have is you don't want all your property management set up on your personal phone. You don't want to do all of the texting, all the tenant calls going to your phone, because it doesn't allow you to remove yourself from the day-to-day operations, or you have to have somebody that has the cell phone. RingCentral is a centralized phone, basically a phone system that's online. They give you a phone number like everywhere else, but anybody on your team can access that phone. The phone can ring through your phone, it can ring through somebody else's phone, it can ring through a computer. You can send text messages and canned responses out to your tenants. So it is a centralized phone system that's not your personal phone. When we talk about thinking long-term and treating everything like a business, you want to separate stuff. So when you're doing emails and when you're getting a phone, you want them to be separate from your personal. So if you do, just like I talked about, have a different person in that role, you can easily send it to a different person and it's not a big hassle. So that's good to do early on in your business. Next, we recommend virtual post mail. This is a centralized mailbox. If you're like me, then you don't want every piece of mail, every rent check, everything coming to your personal residence. This allows you to have an address. There's a bunch in different states that you can choose from. It allows your company to have an address that you can give out to all your tenants, you can put on all your websites. And when your tenants send mail or send rent checks or send anything, whether it's utility bills or mortgage statements, it all goes to your centralized mailbox. Now what happens there is they scan it and they send you an email with all the contents that were in your mail. So it makes it easy to check your mail or someone else to check your mail from anywhere in the world. Then what it also allows you to do, if there's something pertinent that you actually physically need, you can then send that to your personal address or some other address. So it makes it very convenient and it's a great system for any business, including property management. Next, I recommend QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Online is an accounting/bookkeeping software that allows you to keep your stuff very organized for doing taxes at the end of the year, as well as if you're getting any loans or anything like that. It's very easy to produce financial statements for the banks. The last big system that we utilize and we recommend is Trello. Trello is a workflow system that we use in our day-to-day operations. Our property manager uses this. It's a super advanced to-do list, and it is a master follow-upper, so you can remember when tasks are due, you can date them, you can make sure things don't slip through the cracks. I could probably do a whole video, probably a whole segment on how we utilize our Trello and how important it is in the property management business. But for now, using something like a Trello, there's other ones, Asana, there's Monday.com, and they all do basically the same thing, but they allow you to be very regimented on when you do things, like what time of month you do things, and just making sure that you're following up and you're staying on top of anything without forgetting things. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode. We greatly appreciate it if you found the content of this video valuable, if you'd like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next Property Management 101 video.